there, I'm Nancy Shaw with Healthy Living. Today our guest is Jenny Bethurem. Jenny, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Jenny is a personal trainer and an instructor here at Ames Parks and Recreation. And one of the newest classes that we've been offering that she teaches is called a Healthy Foot class. So today we'd like to talk a little bit more about our Healthy Foot class here at Ames Parks and Recreation. Sound good?
Sounds good.
So Jenny, Healthy Foot class, it sounds so interesting when people read the description in our brochure about the Healthy Foot class. But I would like you to tell us a little bit more specifically, what is the Healthy Foot class and what are people finding out when they come to it?
Fundamentally, it's just about, I'm trying to show people how to regain some of the flexibility in their feet. You know, we don't always have the best shoe choices.
Right.
And that does affect our feet. And over the years, that actually affects our feet, and then it works its way up to our knees and our hips.
And it just keeps moving up, doesn't it?
So just talking about better flexibility in the feet, how to get there, and then some stretches to help with that. And then also we do talk about knees and hips and different things, because everything's connected. So if you work on one thing, you got to work on others to help it both ways. So it's really about the flexibility and just gaining that mobility in our feet.
Right, because as you said, so many of us do make poor shoe choices, and we have issues with our feet that as we get older, we don't realize it's happening, and then all of a sudden there's a lot of issues. So this class really helps with those. But it's also for those who might not have foot problems yet, but just want to have healthier feet. Exactly.
Yeah, it can be you already have something and you want to work on it, or you want to keep it from happening.
Right. So what are some of the specific foot problems that people come or have when they come to the class?
We've had people with bunions, hammer toe, they have plantar fasciitis, and so these will all help. All these exercises, this will help work all of those.
All that.
Help with that. Yeah.
I know, and plantar fasciitis is such a big issue with a lot of our participants. They get it because they're typically active, and that might be something that, but all of them are things that can be helped with. Yeah. So are you seeing a certain level of fit? I mean, it's really not a fitness level that's involved, it's an information, right?
Yeah, it's not a fitness class. So if you're looking for a fitness class jumping around, this is not it. But yeah, if you want to learn more about your feet, our feet are very underappreciated and abused. So I'm going to try and explain more about the feet, why they're so important, why that mobility is important to have in your feet. And we have all sorts of people, all age ranges.
Right. So it's a perfect class for everybody, really.
Yes.
So would you like to show me just maybe a few exercises that you will work with and the participants to help them learn about how to get healthier feet?
Sure.
Right.
We can start off simply, we actually don't need any equipment for this first one, is just wiggle your toes around, right? So this is something that can be done anytime. It doesn't have to be done, you don't have to set aside, oh, here's my exercise time.
Right.
This is something you can do while you're talking on the phone, while you're watching TV. So just try wiggling your toes around. Try spreading them apart. Some people, when they do this, find that their feet cramp up.
Oh, really?
Because they're not used to this. They're used to this position, where your toes are shoved into a shoe. So just try spreading them apart. You can also try lifting them individually, which I cannot demonstrate yet.
Oh, wow. I don't think I can do that
I can
either.
Get one big toe to go up.
Yeah, I can't do that. But it is possible, huh?
Yeah, really. I mean, yeah, if you were to practice this, you can get... really, our feet should have almost the same dexterity as our hands.
Okay.
But we shove them in shoes all the time, and they just lose that ability.
Right.
So yeah, just try wiggling them around, moving them. Another thing you can do while you're sitting down is, and some people hate to touch their feet, but you can try taking your fingers and lacing them in between your toes.
Okay.
To help start to stretch them out. So that's something really easy to do. Another one to do is you can use the dome here, or if you don't have one, you can roll up a towel nice and tight.
Okay.
Or a yoga mat, and you're going to roll it up nice and tight. And what we're going to do is go down to the end, and you just put the ball of your foot up on the dome, and you can adjust it. If this is too intense, you can slide the foot down a little bit. You can also adjust it by what this other foot is doing. So right now, I have a pretty easy stretch because this foot, the non-stretching foot, is back.
Okay.
But as you gain flexibility, you start to move that forward.
Oh yeah, that makes a big difference.
And ideally, you should be able to do a full stride, but without compensating. So what I do when I do this, because I'm not fully there yet, is I'll bend forward because I just have
a little bit more flexion at the hips. Needed.
So you can adjust it by just keeping that foot back and just do it's just called a calf stretch.
Right. But it's really interesting how much it changes just by taking those few steps forward. Like this is really
right. So if you were to take a full stride, I mean, and this back foot is up. I mean, this is what your back foot would be doing if you were walking up a hill, for instance, right? So you want to have the flexibility in your foot to be able to, in your ankle, I guess, to be able to adjust to different terrain.
Okay.
So then, of course, we go to the other end and do the other side.
So just, you said that made me think. So this is, a lot of this stuff will just help them with everyday life. Like you said, walking up a hill.
Yeah.
You know, so that's really beneficial to people.
Another thing, so the first one you do with both legs straight.
Okay.
So you just straighten out your legs. Another thing to kind of keep an eye on is try and keep your feet, the outside edges of your feet, parallel to one another. And we go into this more in the class about different alignment points, but you can do that. And you might notice when you bring your feet so that the outside edges of your feet are basically parallel with one another, you might notice an increased stretch.
Yeah, right through here.
In fact, sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it's in the hips, sometimes it's in the knees.
Okay.
So if it hurts, then just come out of it a little bit. Take your feet out.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
So another one you can do with the calf stretch is then just bend both knees slightly.
Oh yeah.
Just dip straight down. That's going to take the stretch down a little bit lower into the stretching leg. Yeah. Called a soleus stretch.
Right. That makes a big difference too. That's great.
So you dip down. So it's gonna do a full stretch then throughout your calf, but between the two. And then to kind of come out of this and take a break from this, top of the foot stretch.
Wow.
And this can induce cramping. This is one you might need to do near a chair or a wall for balance.
Oh yeah, that is intense.
Yeah.
So when people's foot cramps, do you just tell them just stretch it out?
Just to come out of
it.
Keep
trying to do it?
Yeah, just come out of it. If it's just too much, then just let it go.
Okay.
Sometimes you can sit down and massage your foot, move it around. You can do the top of the foot stretch kind of while sitting down. You just gently pull your toes towards you.
That really gets
and kind of ease into it. So yeah, if it's too intense at first, which it can be.
Right, it is. That was intense.
And you can adjust it too by, the closer in, you have a little more control over how much pressure you have. The farther back, it's going to be a little more intense. Yeah. So you can adjust that as well.
Right. Okay.
So those are just a couple of really quick things that you can be doing with minimal equipment that'll get you on a good start on getting your flexibility back in your feet.
Right, because that's bottom line. That's what happens, right?
Yep.
And it's funny when you think about, when we exercise, we do all this stuff, but we don't really pay attention to our feet.
No,
so they're kind of, like you said, they're kind of ignored.
They are ignored.
They're crammed in
shoes.
I mean,
think about it. They should be giving us feedback on the terrain. They should be giving us feedback on the temperature, all this stuff, and we shove them in shoes.
Right, right.
And I mean, if you imagine your hands taped up as you grow up,
right,
you're going to lose all of that flexibility and all of that sensation and all that feedback.
Wow, that's very
And that's what we've done to our feet. So
is this a barefoot class? What if someone doesn't feel comfortable barefoot? Because I know a lot of people don't. Can they wear their shoes in this class?
It would be best if they would at least go to socks.
Okay, so socks are good.
Socks are okay. Obviously, I have socks on.
Right.
The toe socks are nice because then I wear them just so I can demonstrate better in the class.
Okay.
But regular socks are fine.
Okay. But again, they're not jumping. They're not even probably doing a lot of walking on.
No.
It's a very...
We occasionly walk up and down the stairs.
Right. But so if they are uncomfortable and barefoot, it's not so much walking that might be an issue.
And there's a yoga mat. You can bring your own yoga mat, or there's yoga mats there.
Okay.
So you're standing on that. So.
Good. Yeah. Well, this is very informative. I think it's something that we just all need to address, but as you said, they're kind of forgotten about.
Yes.
So I know the participants have taken the class in the past have been really excited, and they have learned so much that it's really great to see them learn new things, because they're, you know, really entering the class not knowing.
Yeah,
anything.
It makes it easier to teach too. When people
Yeah,
are
and they're
enjoying
really
it.
excited about it. Well, Jenny, thank you so much for teaching us about our Healthy Foot class. I know it's been really popular, and it continues to grow as people learn about it. So thank you for joining us. If you would like more information on our Healthy Foot class or any of our classes here at Ames Parks and Recreation, you can contact me at 239-5353, or of course check it all out online at amesparkrec.org. I'm Nancy Schott with Healthy Living, and it's never too late to get fit.